In Wellbeing Tourism, we create experiences that are good for people and good for the world. On the one hand, we want to serve people and truly nourish the whole person by taking care of the body, the mind, and the soul. On the other hand, we want these experiences to be in harmony with nature and sustainable for the environment, society, and our economy. How do we create a tourism that serves all of us, from the bumblebee to the butterfly, from us here and now to our grandchildren far into the future? In Wellbeing Hosting, we wish to create homes away from home, places to relax, move, connect, discover, and revitalize. The way we are hosted can make all the difference for our well-being and how we experience coming to a new place. In this episode, we will look at hosting values and good practices that can help us create a truly nourishing well-being experience. Today we're going to talk about well-being hosting, and this is such an interesting topic because it's truly at the core of what we want to do in well-being tourism, and that is to create beautiful, nourishing and heartfelt experiences. How do we do that? Is there an art to welcoming? Because there are practical things that we can do on the one hand, and on the other hand it's also about who we are as people and sharing the best of ourselves with others. So to find inspiration and get new insights, I talked with different people who travel, people who work in hospitality themselves, and I asked them, what is a warm welcome to you?
A warm welcome is being offered a pair of woolen socks when you come to someone's home, or a pair of extra slippers, or a nice cardigan so you're nice and cozy, or a sun hat if you're sitting in someone's garden.
Till exempel om man kommer in på en kursgård eller kommer in på ett hotell och på rummet så står det en blomma eller så ligger en liten lapp där. Välkommen Gunilla! Då känner jag mig som special guest.
Yeah, coziness, like going somewhere and being like, wow, this is so cozy. Just like having that feeling, there's candles, there's a fireplace that is already warm, and the person has already made tea, and there's a cup of tea for you when you arrive, and it's like, wow, and you just like suddenly completely changes, no, from this space that maybe you were going somewhere and then you arrive and it's like, oh, feel so landed, no, feel so much at home.
Je voelt je daar gewoon gelijk thuis. Het is een fijne omgeving en het is geen hotel, het is meer gewoon zoals je huis eigenlijk.
It's the details, I think. If someone considers tiny details for their guests, even if it's a good friend or a family member, just thinking one step ahead so that they're comfortable and at ease.
Jag tänker ju att jag ser den personen och välkomnar den. Man tittar på den och välkomnar den och var förberedd. Men att just se personen och välkomna med ett hej eller ett leende eller till exempel har du haft en bra resa hit och lite sådana lite personliga frågor.
Att vara välkomna, det är att mena vad man säger. Att ha någonting att bjuda. Och jag känner att det kommer från hjärtat. Och att lyssna. Och att vara prestigelös.
Och även mycket humor. Det är roligt att få skratta tillsammans med någon. Man behöver inte säga så mycket, man kan bara få ett leende så finns det en brytning. Jag tycker om människor. Och det speglar jag kanske ut också när jag ser folk.
I want to create a calm space, I have to be calm myself. I want to create a happy place, I have to be happy myself. So it's very much, I think we sometimes forget that. We think that we can just put a smile on our face, but I think it's very much a inner work. When I'm happy myself, when I feel like I like my job and I'm at the right place at the right time, then it's so easy to support or to be welcoming.
It's very interesting for me what came out of these talks. And it goes from very small things to very personal things. On the one hand, I really heard about the importance of details, that the small things can make a big difference. But also I heard about how important it is to really feel cared for, that somebody thought about your needs before you even have to ask. Feeling at home and feeling a genuine connection with the people you meet. And finally, I also heard about how important it is to take care of yourself before you're even able to really provide a well-being experience for others. We're going to dive more deeply into the practical things that we can do, like what are good practices that help us create well-being experiences. But before we do that, let's look at some hosting values that can really form the backbone and the core of well-being hosting. First of all, let's look at honesty. People need to be able to trust our offer, provide good information that is correct, that's transparent, and that is up to date. So you can think of your safety measurements, of your pricing. It's also important to be transparent about the food that you serve and your sustainability measures. It's not about trying to be perfect, it's about being trustworthy and honest. Awareness, like how aware are we in front of the people who come and visit us? How good are we at listening and at really seeing what a situation needs? Can we be considerate in our responses to questions or requests? It's very much about really making a connection and creating a safe and good environment. Thirdly, we're looking at care. And we already heard also from the people speaking how much they really appreciate when they feel cared for. And feeling cared for can be in many things. Like it's a warm blanket, it's about feeling cozy, it's about a cup of tea when you arrive. In a sense, it's a lot about thinking ahead. What is it that people really need? What are their physical and emotional needs when they come to you? Fourthly, kindness is truly at the core of well-being. And this maybe sounds like something that's obvious, right? Like when we work in tourism, when we welcome people, of course it's important that we are kind. Yet we do want to mention this one because sometimes it can be easy to forget maybe, or sometimes we're busy and we're more focused on the job or the task than we are at the person. And what can we do to come back to ourselves, to calm down, and to just truly take the time to be kind? And finally, joy. I mean, joy is what makes life worth living. And when we are joyful, other people become joyful as well. It's like it spreads. So now let's look at the good practices. First of all, let's look at a good practice that is about understanding who is coming to visit us and what does their experience really look like. Because when we're creating well-being experiences and well-being hosting, we're actually designing an experience from the beginning to the end.
Art of welcoming to me, of course, involves the first meeting with the place, which is in a way the website, Facebook, wherever people get to hear about us, or from a person that's already been here. And then when they arrive up on our site, that is clear. This is the reception, so people don't come and what question, where should I go? So they come with. We make it as easy as possible for people to come to where they want to come.
Someone greets you with a smile and saying, "Okay, come here. Let's do this, that, and then I will show you your place." And these are the steps. You can feel relaxed faster because you are not with your mind on the many things you have to do when you arrive.
And then meeting a person in the reception, and of course it's important with a smile and with a positive welcoming. Maybe some music in the speakers and lit up candles and flowers on the table. But I think personal stories are really good. So that's what makes people interested. Why did you move here? To give some kind of a personal reflection, I think that really connects back to the people. And people come here, they should get inspired and come home with some new ideas, some new practices or so. So I think there's many aspects. I think the art of welcoming starts even before they come here and it ends after they left here. What feeling did they leave with?
Yeah, we're basically service designers. A good practice and starting point is to look at the whole customer journey. Who are the people who are actually visiting you? Maybe it are young families with children. Maybe it are retired couples. It can be people who are very much into sustainability. It can also be people who are more searching for culture and adventure, or people who are searching for calm and quiet. Identify the three main groups of people that come to you. You can make a sort of a timeline of the experience that they have when they come to your place. And it starts with the first meeting or the first knowing of that you exist. So that could be your website, or it can be a story from another person, or where does it really start? And then it goes from there to finding the first information, to doing the booking. They enter your place, then it's about the stay while they're at your place. Then it's when they leave, then it's when you maybe send them a message afterwards, or a thank you, or a newsletter. And for each of these moments, you can look at it and really try to identify for each of these different groups, what are their needs in these different moments. What is it that I can do to make things easier or more pleasant? And also looking at the hosting values for each of these moments. Can you ask yourself, what can I do here to be honest and transparent? What can I do here to be kind? What can I do here to show my care? What can I do in this moment to spread joy? Number one, identify who are the people who visit you. Number two, look at the whole journey and try to make it visual. And number three, at each little part of the journey, what are the things you can do based on the hosting values to create a truly well-being experience?
If you go into an Airbnb, if you're traveling, and there are lovely, beautiful flowers on the bedside table, or sort of a platter of fresh fruit on the kitchen table as you arrive.
And everything's cozy and the light is perfect. It's a lot about the light.
I think about maybe light. I will be in a place with a big windows or like natural light.
If I'm going somewhere new and I go to a house that I see a lot of detail and mostly like handmade things, not that people have been doing themselves with putting a lot of time and effort. I really value that.
Het regende en het was heel koud. En toen had de eigenaar van dat kleine campingje, die had de sauna aangemaakt voor ons. Nou, dat was echt een geschenk uit de hemel.
Good practice number 2 is truly about sharing your passion with other people and from there create beautiful experiences. So we heard in the interview so many people talking about how the small things make the big difference. The places that I visited where I feel the people are truly masters in the art of welcoming is when they share the best of themselves with you, and that the things they create really come from the things that they love. It's not about a little trick or just a little random surprise. It's really about finding the things that you deeply care about, and then sharing that with the world. And that truly brings so much inspiration and so much happiness. I would love to share a little bit from a place that is very dear to me, which is an organic flower farm in southern Sweden, where you can just feel the love in all the small details, from the little signs that they make to the abundance of flowers, to the cute dogs that are out there, to the chickens that they have, to the organic ice cream you can buy, and the little seats made for people to rest while they're picking flowers. The fact that you can be part of picking flowers yourself, instead of just buying flowers. These are all things that totally enhance the experience of being there.
When people come here and they say, oh, how nice it is, and wow, what a place, we're like, what? This is, I mean, it's not finished. We're and at the same time, we're like, yeah, maybe, yeah, that gives me motivation to make it even better for people to come here. And I planted bulbs all over the edge of the road, and I hope next year or this spring they will come up and we'll have a very welcoming entrance. Grandparents come here with their grandchildren just to say hello to the chickens and have an ice cream. It's on our farm, and they're invited here, and also that makes it even more rewarding when people come here and like it, because it feels more like they like something of us. And also they get to see something of us.
So the point is not for you to also create a flower garden, but to ask yourself, what is my flower garden? Like, what is it that I feel so passionate about that I want to share it with the world? Whether it's horse riding or baking bread or doing food courses or arts or ceramics.
I think a good place for them to start is where they feel good, because it's bound to be a place that other people also feel good, or an activity or whatever. And nowadays the world is smaller, and it's easier to reach people like-minded, and it's easier for them to travel to you.
And finally, the last good practice, and this is a really important one, and we touched upon this already, is that it's very important to take care of your own well-being, to be able to spread well-being to others.
Well-being for me is very much something that happens on the inside. Because if I feel kind of like content and happy and calm myself, I can so much better relate on a deeper level with other people. So I think well-being always comes back to ourselves.
Jag tänker så här att jag då som kock och som inspiratör till andra människor, jag måste ta hand om mig. Jag måste ha ett välmående, inte måste, utan jag behöver att jag har ett välmående. Att jag inte stagnerar, utan att jag är nyfiken fortsatt om hur jag kan må bra. När jag är i balans, och ibland är man inte i balans, så händer livet, men att du ändå är trygg i dig själv och älskar att göra det du gör.
I usually say that it's so important for entrepreneurs, for anyone, whatever work we do, it's so important to work with the things that we love to do what we love to do. And of course, even if we do what we love to do, there's got to be challenges. But if we go to work and we hate it, it's very hard to do good art of hosting.
A good starting point with whatever you do is to ask yourself, what is it that you need to feel well? And also, what are the things you naturally do that contribute to others' well-being while contributing to your own? And thirdly, how can you take care of your own health, your own well-being, and having healthy limits or ways to revive, or also taking well-being moments for yourself and not only creating them for others. Thank you so much for watching. With this video you'll find a PDF with insights and starting points, plus worksheets for further developing your art of welcoming. Wish you beautiful experiences and lots of joy with creating spaces and activities for well-being hosting.